Pokemon types are a huge part of the Pokemon franchise. There are many different types. You've got water types, you've got fire types, you've got grass types, thunder types, dragon types, and many more. They obviously have a big role in the battling system of Pokemon, with some having an advantage and some being weak over the other. So I thought, since each and every Pokemon is divided into a type, I'd go over each and every type and decide which Pokemon out of each type is my favorite. Hi, my name is Tundra, and these are my favorite Pokemon from each type. Let's get started. I started off with the fire types, and again, guys, this is completely my opinion. If you guys want to let me know your favorites for each type in the comments, go ahead, let me know. I'd love to see it. And one thing I need to get out of the way: if a Pokemon has two types, what I'm going to do is, like, let's say it was Skarmory. Let's say it was Skarmory, because Skarmory is obviously a steel and flying type. It would only count for one type. So, like, let's just say Skarmory was my favorite steel type, then I would put him as my steel type, but he wouldn't be allowed to be as my flying, so he only counts for one type, if that makes sense. That was just an example, guys. Just thought I'd get that out of the way. Anyway, let's just go and get started for real. So yeah, and again, we are starting off with our fire types. Again, this is my opinion, but my favorite fire type is Houndoom. I don't really have a specific reason why I like Houndoom. I've just always loved the design of Houndoom, and like how he has those big, like, I don't know what you call them, I guess horns. So, next we have our grass types. We have Grovyle or Grovyle, or however you want to heckin' pronounce it. Grovyle. He is my favorite grass type. In fact, he's my favorite starter evolution, or just starter in general. I grew up playing Pokemon Emerald, and every time I'd start a game, I'd always choose Trico because I always looked forward to getting Grovyle, and I love his stats and I love his moves. I love Grovyle so much. For the water types now, we're just zooming through this list. This is going to be a shorter video, guys, but for our water types, we have Totodile. I've always just liked the design of Totodile, and he kind of reminds me of a little, I don't know why, I feel like he's a little bit more of a klutzy Pokemon. I have a feeling the anime kind of influenced that. But I don't know, I feel like Totodile's more of a klutzy and silly Pokemon, which is why I've always liked him. So, now we have our ice type. We're going into the Eevee evolutions. We have Glaceon. Glaceon is actually my favorite of the Eevee evolutions. I've just always liked the design of Glaceon the most. I feel like Glaceon doesn't get enough love. I feel like no one really likes that evolution. It's my favorite. I love Glaceon. For our bug types, again, these are just like, I realize how random these Pokemon are, but these are my opinion. This is my opinion, guys. You guys can comment yours below. Anyway, so my favorite bug type Pokemon is Leavanny. That is the final evolution of Sewaddle from the Unova region. I've always liked the design of Leavanny and how it kind of like goes from being a little caterpillar-y bug to like actually being able to freaking walk. I always thought that was kind of cool, and I feel like Leavanny Leavanny is the best Pokemon for competitive play, but Leavanny's good. So, we are now going to do our ghost type Pokemon. This is one that makes more sense. I feel like a lot of people could relate to this one, but Haunter. It is an original Pokemon. Haunter I've just always loved, and I've always loved how, like, it kind of, like, was the Pokemon that would cause mischief and, like, haunt people and, like, mess with them. And I always loved that, and I will never forget. This is, like, one of my favorite episodes of when Ash in the original anime had to catch Haunter, or, like, when he was using Haunter to try to battle Sabrina, and Haunter was, like, just never there. That was my favorite part of the anime. That's, like, my favorite episode. So, for our poison type now, we have Muck. Again, another original one. I feel like the original ones, and just the Pokemon that Ash had, like, I feel like since Muck was a Pokemon that Ash caught in the anime, I feel like that also influenced it a lot. I've always loved Muck, especially in the anime when Ash caught him as a Pokemon, and Ash actually had that Pokemon. So, for our Psychic type, we're continuing with these original Pokemon. We have Mewtwo. This one, do I really need to explain why Mewtwo is my favorite Psychic type? So for ground, and I decided to combine ground and rock types because they're pretty similar. Don't get mad at me in the comments, please. But for ground and rock, I have Boldore, again another Pokemon that Ash caught, and I feel like that kind of influenced it a lot. For our next type, we have fairy types, and that is going to go to Xerneas, or Xerneas. I just love the design of Xerneas and how like it represents life, and I just love Xerneas. So for our fighting type now, we're gonna give this to Hitmonchan. Hitmonchan is actually my favorite Pokemon of all time. So there you guys go. That's actually my favorite Pokemon of all time. I just love Hitmonchan, and it's a very basic idea of just like a boxing Pokemon, but I love it. I just love it. So for our Steel type, I'm gonna be completely honest. For the Steel type, I'd never thought about it. I didn't really have a Steel type on my top. There wasn't even a Steel type in my top 10. I just had to kind of come up with something, so I just came up with Clang. There's no specific reason. So yay, go Clang! You made it in the top. Yay. For Thunder, we have, and no, it's not Pikachu or Raichu. I'm sorry. The only reason it's not Pikachu and Raichu is just because of the amount of hype they get. And I love Pikachu and I love Raichu, but they just get overhyped way too much, in my opinion. I love them as a Pokemon. Don't get me wrong; they're definitely my favorite, some of my favorite Pokemon. But in my opinion, my favorite Thunder type, and it's a completely random Pokemon, like to you guys, it's my favorite Thunder type, is Galvantula. And I don't know if it was just the fact that it was a Thunder Bug type that caught my eye and like made me interested in Galvantula. I just love the design of like it's just like an electric spider. So for Dark type, this one matches our Fairy type. We have Yveltal. Again, kind of like with Xerneas or Xerneas. I'm recording late at night. Kind of like with Xerneas or Xerneas. I just like the whole thing about Yveltal representing like death or destruction, and how it's kind of like a cycle. Xerneas representing life and Yveltal representing death, and they kind of need each other to keep on going. So for our Dragon type, this is another one that I don't need to explain all that much, but Dragonite. He's an original 151 Pokemon. Do I really have to explain? He's like everyone's favorite Dragon type. Come on, do I have to explain? So for our Flying type, this is the Pokemon that I feel like everyone forgets even exists. This is the Pokemon I feel like everyone forgets like even exists. I've always loved this Pokemon since it came out. I'm pretty sure, yeah, it's Gen 5. That would be Mandibuzz. I guess I could have also used Mandibuzz as an example for my dual type because it's dark and flying. But Mandibuzz, I've just always wanted a vulture Pokemon because vultures are actually I love vultures just as a bird, and of course I'm gonna love a Pokemon that's based off a vulture. And I just love Mandibuzz, and I feel like people just completely forgot that Mandibuzz even existed. So for our final type we have today, we have Snorlax as our normal type. What'd you guys expect? Of course it's gonna be Snorlax. It's freaking amazing. So that was my list of my favorite Pokemon from each type. Let me know your favorite Pokemon of each type down below in the comments. I'm actually really interested to see what your guys' favorite Pokemon are. Before this video ends, I would like to give a huge shout out to the Code Crown for letting me use his footage in the background. You guys should check his channel out. He does daily streams of Zelda, Splatoon, Pokemon, and other games. You could just go join his streams. He usually does a stream every day, so you can go and just join his streams. There's not very many people. I mean, I think we should change that. I hope that he gets a lot of people in his streams. But, you could just go there, talk, have a nice, just chat with people. It's really chill, and you just go hang out and watch some good quality streams. So make sure you guys go ahead and check out the Code Crown. I will be linking his channel in the description. Also, I now have a Twitter, guys. So make sure you guys follow my Twitter. It's gonna be showing up on the screen right now. I literally just made it like an hour ago. So yeah. Make sure you guys go and follow that. I'm gonna be doing polls on what video I can do next on Twitter. I know I can do Instagram polls, but it only lets you do 2 different options, so it's kind of pointless. So I'm going to be doing polls on that for what video you guys want to see next. So make sure you guys are staying active on my Twitter if you guys want to just be a part in choosing what video I'm going to upload next. So yeah, thank you guys for watching my video of my favorite Pokemon from each type. If you guys enjoyed that video, go ahead and drop a big fat like down below. It helps me out so much, and it only takes 1 second. And subscribe again. It takes 1 second. It's 1 click. It doesn't physically harm you in any way. It doesn't hurt anyone. It just helps me out. It just helps me. So please, guys, come on, go ahead and click that subscribe button and subscribe to my main channel, which will be linked in the description. It only takes a few seconds, and it helps me out so much. And turn on notifications if you want to, so you know when I upload a video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you guys in the next Pokemon video. Stay chill.